Yes, I greetings, Rasa Iadonis. What do I say?
Yes, salam to greetings. And I salam my brother, Ankoma Jed. How the eye keeping? And them in there. How the eye and them in. And
Yeah,
them
man.
in. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Dena. Good. Wow. Xavier Meskin. Kadamawi Hala Selassie Meskin, you know? Yeah.
Yeah,
Amen. Amen. Yes. Yes. Am I being heard? Can you hear me?
yeah, man. I can
Okay.
hear you good.
Okay, because yeah, on this thing, okay, it's off mute, but I don't see the mic thing is not greening up. But as long as you can hear, it's good. It's good. All right.
Yeah, man. You hear loud and clear.
Oh. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, the good is, man. All right. This is lesson two, right?
Yeah,
Lesson
listen.
two. Oh, let's
Yes, I,
see.
you know. From first time when we do it, the first two sessions what we had um was just going over certain basic words like king and city by Wester. If anybody now seeing this for the first time, you could go and check the playlist and you'll get an idea. I'll get some foundation full up on the preliminary works now, you know. On the side here, you see Ras Iadonis, I put the Fidel for the
Hmm. Let's see.
for the
Hmm.
you know. So
Hmm.
one could probably pause and try to make out what they could make out and things as we move along. You know?
And I just want to say that I see the exercise. I'm just looking over the answers,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we're gonna follow up, be a little more diligent. But yeah, just the transliteration, like the transliteration. I didn't use some of the software assisted transliteration, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there are some tweaks. It's correct on some things, but some things, yeah, need to be a little tweaked. But I understand like how the software how it reads. Remember, is not um it's not I wouldn't call it a dead line. I know the linguists, the academics call it dead. I would not necessarily say it was dead in
Mm.
that sense, but it's kind of a limited use language.
True.
A special use and limited use language. But
Mm.
yeah, man. But this gets us going. Definitely it's that step up from
Yeah, man.
Lambden's work and everything. Tell me something, Ken, because I don't know like how I can see it, but it looks like maybe we have to take the page and do one
Mm.
of them which could a contrast thing.
Or you're getting problem to see it good or what?
No, I can see it. I can see it. I'm just thinking about like how like I can see the white of the stream yard, and of the top. So I can see it. But yeah, just because it's a scan. It's a scan. It's like of the book. But I can see it. I can see it. Debit. Now you see like the A without
Mm-hmm.
any without any accentuation on it. That
Mm-hmm.
is like the first column. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's like the
Yeah.
first column. And whenever like the A, like an odd
Mm-hmm.
bar with a bar over it, that would
Yeah.
be like the
Fifth or so. Fourth. One of
fourth,
them.
fourth, yeah. So one is like the and one is like ah. So the first one is more like right? Even though in Amharic kind of I want to say confuses it, but Amharic, how can we say okay, from right to left, we say ha, hu, he, ha, hey, he, ho. Right? That's the way it's
Mm.
said today. But the actual gu'as of it will be he, hu, he, ha, hey, he, ho. Like le, u, e, ah, a, I, o in gu'as. Now
Mm-hmm.
in Amharic, they would say for the H sounds and the A sounds, they would say the first and the fourth with a similar in Amharic, the later language. So, for example, it will be ha, hu, he, ha, hey, here, ho. But in Gutters, that first column is eh, eh.
I
You know what I mean?
understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Understand what you're saying.
So, so I'm just pointing that out because that's just when we get into like the, and some words to bring out the proper sound to it,
And a point to what you're saying too is the fifth, the S there with the semicircle on top of it now. In the
Mm.
fifth column.
Which one?
That
The fifth column. Let's see.
the S now with the U on top of it, with the semicircle on top of it. That would have been making in the ancient word a sh
Yeah,
sound.
yeah, yeah, a syllabated like a. It's like in Hebrew the seen sheens.
Yeah, the sheen.
Yeah, like some form of a she. Maybe not a full she, but she. Like for example, in one of Budge's books, Budge's old books, because we were talking about Budge before Wallace, Sir E. A. Wallace Budge. In one of his books about Mary, what's that? The Legends of I think Mary. One of the books, Legends of Our Lady Mary and her mother Hannah. He has a transliteration of prayer from somebody's scroll. And it says, I will actually show the eye this. I'll try to get it to the eye so you can show and share it with the peeps. It says this scroll was for someone named Hyla Shalase. He transliterates it as Shalase because actually Salase in old Gutters would be Shalase. Because if we read it from them Harkaway, we say, well, how can we have two S's?
Mm.
How can we
Yeah,
have two sad sounds?
yeah.
Right? So it's actually the one that you're talking about, the fifth one. I don't know if you can zoom. Can you zoom that? Like where you at? Can you zoom in on the Ngusu set for the people to see? And yeah, there we go. That's what he's talking about. That little tilde over it. Yeah, there you go, right there. That little tilde there over it is like for the sh, like a sh sound, a syllabation. And then underneath, you see the other S. There we go. You right by it. There you go, right there. The other S. That's set. So the first one on top will be she, re, se. She, re, se, e. So I'm saying the what they call it, the consonant or the so-called consonant in the vowel. She, re, e, se, e, ke, e. It's like when we say kedamawi, like kedamawi. I get it because English is weird. That it's kind of hard to look at a Q without a U behind it. And think about all the words in English. Every word, almost every word in English that begins with a Q, or has a Q, it usually has a U sound.
Well, that because they say you can't really vocalize. When they say the vocalization of something is when you put a vowel inside it. That
Well,
when
see,
they say vocalize.
that's the thing. That's the thing. Even with Hebrew, I'm having this kind of wrestle with some about Hebrew. We was talking about it before, where they say like, I think you mentioned something about the Arabic, how the Arabic has like what is it? Fatiha, Kesra, and Doma. Those are the vowels. Fatiha is like a ah sound. Kesra, right, is like a I sound, and Doma is a u. So ah, I, and u, right? In other words, that's the Arabic main vowels, right? But in Hebrew has seven vowels, just like Ethiopic. In fact, the Ethiopic gives us the hint. The Ethiopic is the tell. You know that Hebrew has the same u, e, ah, a, I, and o. You know what I mean? That I think is the most fundamental part because as one go through study, right, in the Fidel or even in the transliteration, to get the more close to sounds, it kind of takes kind of repetition. Like a lot of repetition. So don't feel any way about repetition, y'all. That's a part of study. Like I would say this, like borrowing Brother Paul in the Bible, New Testament. I would kind of borrow when he said about speaking more languages because I study more. I'm not saying this like this makes me anything other than somebody who studies a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm encouraging others to continue repetition. Because the more I think you know this already. You know this, right? You know this. The more you go over it, after a while, it's like you sleep and you wake up and you recognize, yo, I've downloaded this. I got this. So it's the repetition that helps you to kind of get. At first it's kind of awkward and odd. It may seem kind of awkward and odd just to the brothers and sisters, in their learning, but continue reps, like going to the gym, continue reps or sets, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, the cat cook but the I said that because my apology, because you sent this I think to me before you mentioned it, and I should have taken the time to kind of go over it. Right. But I didn't get the time then, but hopefully we get the time to, just to correct some of the, but it's a step. It's a step in the right direction. I salute the eye on that.
Yeah, man, we could do the live correction if anything too, because we had the software there to get the correct characters one time.
Oh, you download the keyboard? You got the keyboard?
Nobody remember yet the I put me on to the iota, so I had that I could type it.
Oh yeah. Iota, a beautiful software because the Amharic they use is from His Majesty's Bible. Hail up to all the Ethiopian software people, because a lot of them do use His Majesty's text, but some of them dabble with some of the other versions of the Bible that are outside versions. But Iota uses His Majesty's, the official, authorized text. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Iota. All right. Because see, well, let's get in it. Let's get in. This is a good sample right here. But let's get in it. Right here. Mm. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna get my hard copy. Let me show you this right here. Let me show you this. Hey, Pete, this has been on like about 2 or 3 hours, so I'm gonna keep, kind of keep my cam off, but so
Yeah,
it's no AI here. But here's my book. Look at this book here.
the ancient scroll.
Look at, where's the cover, bro? The cover. I don't know where I put the cover, man. I want,
The cover for love.
I want you to see this right here. Let me see if I can show this right here. Let's see, right here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It might be a little bit dim. I don't know if you can see this here, right here. Can you? No. It kind of. No, let me do this here. Let me turn on this light. Maybe let there be light. No, right here. No, you can't. I'll take a picture of it. I'll take a picture of it. Can I share a picture? Will I be able to share a picture?
Yeah, man, you could share picture. Yeah,
Okay. What I'll do is I'll turn it. I'll turn it. Let's see. I don't know. Like yeah. It's this right there. Anyway, I'll show you what I did. Like how to make some marks. Like make marks. Make a copy. If one can get a copy, make a copy of it, and be able to. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, so it's not really coming out like that. But anyway, I got the book here. I'll go to the chapter two. Chapter two. Now the intro is also good, but let's keep moving with the second lesson. Um have anyone's been checking out, you know, the second I mean the first one, like commenting on some of the first one.
yeah, man. The first two sessions. Cause remember we did do the introduction, and then we revisit it as well. You know what I mean? So the two of them have people tuning in and saying they liking the vibes and things. So you know what I'm saying?
All right. So let's see. Share screen, present. Okay, yeah, I see it there. I see it there. Let me see if I can. But it's the same Fidel, but I had made some marks. Some marks on. Actually, I made a copy of it. To make some marks on. But let's get in. Let's get in it. So lesson two, the noun plurals. Yeah. Um. In general, the plural of a noun is formed in one of two ways. So this is the second one. The plural of a noun is formed in one of two ways. So the pattern A, right? The pattern. So here we have deber, 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 deber. You know, they say like Deborah Damo. You hear them say Deborah Damo, de, re. Let me look at what we have right here. Deborah, right? So Deborah, a mountain, the plural is ad bar. So Deborah, Deborah, Deborah is ad bar, right? The second of the plural ways, the addition of an ending, right? We have met, Ahmet, Ahmet. Like we say, Addis, Ahmet,
Mm.
Addis, Addis, Ahmet. So you see where the A,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
a
know,
long A, long A.
could you, for at least those watching the screen, zoom in on the part with the transliteration? Could you zoom in on that right there? With the part with the Deber and Adbar and Ahmet and I don't know if it can. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So people can see that. So they can see the what we're talking about right there. The Deber, like Deborah Damo, Deber Adbar, right? Adbar. So notice how the line over the A is the long sound, and that would be the fourth column, like ah. But then the one with just the A would be eh, as a sound. De, b, r. The B and the R is the sixth column. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a I sound, debur. But it's not debur. It's not debur. Whenever the I is at the end, there is no vowel, really. Not, not
In
an
most
expression.
cases, yeah.
Yeah, at the end. So you can see it with the B. The B is the same vowel as the R. It's like that schwa. And I know in the Hebrew we call it schwa. The
Yeah.
schwa is like a I. It's like a I. It's like
Mm.
some people say believe. If you hear some people speak, they'll say believe.
Yeah.
While other people may say believe. If you listen carefully, believe. It's like a but.
Mm.
So Debur, Adabar, right? And then we have the second way of making a singular, a plural, right, is with years. So the first one that's highlighted is mountain and mountains. Simply put, is mountain in Ge'ez, Debur, and then we have mountains is Adbar. Adbar is like mountains. The second way of making a plural is Amet, which you got right there, Amet, right? Amet and Ametat, Ametat, right? Amet. Now, I don't know if this can be heard, but I'm gonna try to full vocalize it, more fully vocalize it. That's you see the A with the apostrophe, the backward apostrophe.
Yeah.
That there is the second A. That's the Ein A. That's the second one. That is like a hard A. It's often referred to as a hard A, right?
As
Yeah,
this glyph here, that this glyph here, I
there
don't
you
know.
go. There
This
you
one.
go. Yeah, but the one that one is go back to zoom in on that one again. Can you zoom in on that one? It's right there. It's the fourth one. The fourth one over.
Mm-hmm.
Go over there. There you go. There you go. Right there. Yeah. So you see how it is. It has the backward. You see they have the key on the side, the backward apostrophe,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's for the hard A. So you have the regular A, which is like an odd bar, like and now that A is more like ah ooh
Well,
a oh
Rasa,
yeah.
Rasa Iadonis, I know if you could clarify for me. So
Okay.
the normal apostrophe is what's the difference with the two vowels here? Like this here vowel and then this one with the backward apostrophe.
Well, one is that one there that you're circling now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the alf or like aleph.
Yeah.
That's soft A. That's a soft A, and the other one is a guttural A. It's a hard A. That one there is a hard A. So the difference is between saying and ah 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 ah. Like for example, with the case we have Adbar, mountains, Adbar, and then we have Amet, Amet, Amet. Right, so that's the one there, Amet, Amet, right, Amet. There you go, right there. And then you have the plural is Ametat. Like we say Addis. Most of us will say Addis, Addis Amet. We say Addis Amet because we speak in English and it's not really the good as the ancient enunciation. But when
Mm,
learning the ancient language, the difference has to be noted that it is Amet, 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 Ametat, Ametat. So the backward one, it just gives it a more of a what they call a guttural A sound.
mm,
I like to use a kind of example, but um, but it's an English example. It's like, okay, in English, just for the sound sake, right? It's like the difference between saying somebody say nigga and somebody may say nigga, 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 It's a it's a guttural sound. So it's
true,
more
true.
of Ahmet, Adis, Ahmet. More fully, Adis, Ahmet, Adis, Ahmet, Adis, Ahmet.
Mm,
Not so much Adis Ahmet. We say Addis Ahmed because in English there's basically one A sound, but in Ethiopic and Ge'ez and in other Afro-Semitic languages, there's a difference between the Aleph, the soft A, and the hard A. So it's like a hard and soft. If you notice, the Fidel has hard and soft letters. For example, there's te, and then there's te. You know what I mean?
mm,
There's te
yeah.
and there's te, and there is which
Another one, you see this, you see the P and the P with the dot on top of it.
mm,
Which one is that?
the P, which one? Okay, okay, that
This
one
one
there.
and this one.
That's another example. Good, good, good. Because for a moment I had a little brain moment, right? In Gutters. And Hark has a lot of other hard and soft sounds, but that's the ones the P is peh, 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 peh. You remember the beatbox? You remember the beatbox, right? The
Yeah,
old,
I mean,
yeah, it's like the peh, 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 peh. It's like peh, peh. And the other one with the last one is peh. So one is peh and the other one is peh, 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 and peh, peh, peh. They used to use that word for like loan words, like the word for father coming from Greek in the good is like pop us, pop us, pop us. You know what I mean? And that other one is like a loan word because you have to remember that the Ethiopic culture, they were, how can I say, they were connected somewhat, not indirectly, with other world culture. So sometimes in Ethiopic, they spoke Greek, right? Because they communicated with other nations. You know what I mean? So
well,
therefore,
this way you're saying here, yeah,
mm,
is a serious thing because
mm,
I know even within Rastafari community, it have people that argue for the chronology of languages, and it has some people make the argument or put forward the position that Geese is the oldest language and certain thing, but according to certain chronologies, it's not so now. So you know what I'm saying? So it's at different heights, you know.
I think you said it. Well, here's what I'll say: that the form of the alphabet that we have today has been refined over time. It's obvious. But the ancient roots of the alphabet we have in the Guttas is way ancient. So the present form we have has been refined over time. You know what I'm saying? But its origins point to the ancient linguistics. If that can make sense. The present
But
form is a refined form.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like for example, the Hebrew alphabet has 22 letters. For
but
example.
but normally they will say our the archaic form of the Ge'ez is this epigraphic South Arabian that script now.
Well, yeah, but then okay, like, even if we take the Bible perspective, right? right? Let's take the Bible perspective. Noah, right? Noah had three man sons, three picnic, three man them, right? And then it tells us about Nimrod, right? And then it says that Nimrod was the son of Cush, right? And then we see where it says the beginning of his kingdoms was way out there in the territory of so-called Semitic speaking people. Isn't that interesting? You know what I mean? In other words, the Cushites with Nimrod and them were ruling way out there where Iraq is, Iran and Iraq, and Babylon and all of those places. That's where the Cushites were. So I think that we have to understand that though many of the Hamites, so to speak, may have gone to places like Africa, that we wasn't limited to one piece of ground, as far as movement of people and influence of culture. So what I'm trying to say is that the South Arabian culture was influenced by other cultures. That we trace it back, it shows Ethiopia presence or African or black people presence way out in what they call, the so-called Middle East or Iran and Iraq in
Yeah,
ancient times. You know what I'm saying? And that has never been accounted for. It's like this: how do we get in Ethiopia, which is called in the Bible Cush, right? Cush, right? How do we get this remnant of an ancient culture that goes all the way back out to like the Tower of Babel and Babylon and Iraq? So this kind of proves, in a sense, the biblical narrative as having some ancient roots that have not been accounted for by modern linguistic science. So yes, it comes from South Arabian, right? But it's even more refined than South Arabian. The good is more refined than the South Arabian, because the South Arabian doesn't have all the different forms. You follow what I'm saying, right? The South Arabian, at best, only has that which is reflective of the first column from top
yeah.
to bottom.
So it come like the other um Semitic languages. The rest of them is basically consonants. Like so the Ge'ez is it come like the consonant for but then the forms are the little indicators to show the vowels now. You know what I mean?
Ah, See, yeah, with Hebrew is like what they call it. What they call it again in kind of office work. They call it shorthand. Hebrew is like shorthand, where the people who are able to read, they know what vowels go where because they understand construction. For example, Deber, Adbar, right? So if we wrote Adbar in the first column letters, right, one would be like the Southern Semitic was. They would recognize that de be re, that this word could only be Adbar. You follow what I'm saying? So they would still pronounce it as Adbar. They wouldn't pronounce it as Adabara. They would pronounce it as Adbar. So it was like a shorthand. So Hebrew was like a shorthand. Because some people say that the Hebrew is all consonants. That's because that's all we see. But when the people read it, how can I say? It's
I
like if
understand. I understand what you're saying, but it's the same thing in the Quran too, because in the old it come like it's just the consonants is the real thing. So some people had the arguments over which vowels it was the place where because it has changed the rendering of the text now, according
well,
to what vowels you put inside of the in between the spaces of the consonant.
that's true. And also with the Quran, I have to say, right, that their translation of it is dubious. There's a lot of false translate. The Bible has been more, not fully accurate, but more approximately accurately translated than the Quran. The Quran translation, most translations of the Quran are false, a false translation. It's the translators throwing in a lot of their ideas. The Bible, even the King James Bible, is more relatively accurate than the Quran. What I'm trying to say is that from studying the Quran, you will have to learn Arabic to really get the real. You know what I'm saying? The real. But that's why most of the translations are kind of dubious. But with the Hebrew, how can I say this? Um, you see what we're talking about right now? The patterns of plurals, the pattern of plurals, like Deber and Adbar and Ahmet and Ahmetat. right? There's a particular, how can I say, there's a particular present, past, passive, active, reflexive of language. There's a pattern. There's a pattern that transcends throughout the languages. It's hard for me to explain because we don't really have it in English. There's a particular pattern that, in order, for example, if I say something past tense, right, in impari,
Remember, we went through the we did this in the introduction. You're referring, I believe, to the kettle, the key, the K E.
the ketel, the ketel, or
Yeah, because
ketel. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but that's where it, like when you put in the different vowels in different forms, it is indicate different semantic understandings.
That was the first lesson. Actually, what you're talking about was the first lesson. The first lesson in this lesson right here, in the good is lesson, for example, the first lesson kind of brought it out. Remember with Nebre, he sat, and Nebarat, she sat, and then Nebaru, right? They sat, and then Nebara, they sat men Nebaru, and then Nebara, they sat as female. So just a small sample of, there's a particular breaking of language in order to say, like, if I want to say that I was, right, or I am, or I will be. You see what I'm saying? The same verb to be is the same root verb, but it has to be constructed differently to say I was. Like, it's not like English. English, we say was, right? And then we say, well, I am. But notice that was has no connection in English with am. Was and have, but in the language, it's the same root word, but it's constructed differently to show a different tense, a different tense. So what I'm trying to say with the biblical Hebrew, though it's not pointed, anyone who understands the spirit of the language knows the approximate right vowels to put in. And it's not the way that many Hebrew Israelites put in vowels today. They just put in ah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that's not, like, for example, the same letter that you talked about, which the difference between two A's. They pronounce that one as I. So the same one that we call the letter in Amet, they pronounce that as I. Because if you look at that in the English, they call that letter ein, which means I. The letter literally means the I, like the I we see from is ayin, ne, ayin,
Mm.
and it begins with that letter. So in Hebrew, that letter is called AIN in English. And so some think that the letter is R. It is I. So when they say like Yeshua, you hear them say Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai. But it's not I, it's actually Yeshua, right? Yehoshua. R. It's like R. You know what I'm saying? So there's these misreadings that we do because of English. You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to match things to English. So, like you said, people have this controversy about language, and even with the Ethiopians with Ge'ez, they might speak Greek. If you notice, there's some stelas and monuments that are written in Ge'ez, and it's also written in Greek.
And
You've come across that.
even some of the forms of the is you're seeing where it related to the Greek form. Like if we was to watch the L or something, watch the
Oh, especially the
especially
numbers.
the numbers for sure.
Mhm, mhm.
But if you watch the L there, that come like a lambda same way.
But let's point this out. In the Bible where it says, and Japheth shall dwell in the tents of Shem,
Mm.
that is said to be the link. Okay, the Greek. Let's touch on this for a moment. How deeply have you studied the? Well, not how deeply, but have you studied the ancient Egyptian, where you come across the people called the Keftiu, Keftu, the Keftiu people? are
I
the
ain't, I ain't think I ain't think I'm familiar with the KFTU.
okay, the Keftil people. I wish I could find a picture and show you them. They used to bring gifts to ancient Egypt. They found them when they dug up stuff, when they grave robbed. They found a lot of evidence. And these people were actually black people or melanated. Let's call them melanated people. They were people that some of them could pass for so-called black or African people. The original Greek people were called Javan, like in the English translation, Javan. But in the Hebrew, it is actually Yawan. And this is where we get Ionians. So the Ionians were the original people who inhabited the place that they call Greece, but they were in connection with the Egyptian. The Egyptian people have the original Greek people who were black people called Ionians bringing gifts, and they paint them and they show what they look like. And from all the paintings I've seen, these people look like basically almost Egyptian too. They look like one of the peoples of Egypt. They look like melanated people. So the people that came in after them were the Hellenist people. Hellas were the children of Hellas. They were a foreign people that did what the white man did in America, did what the white man did in Australia. They came into a place where other people were. They kind of conquered the people. The culture was already weak. So they conquered the people, but then they took over certain things. It's like in America, there's some places that have Indian names. You know what I'm saying? The white man kept the so-called Indian names there. So what happened is that the early Greek was not the white people Greek. That's what I want to say.
True,
We
true.
think so because of last. It's like now we can look at America like a British Anglo-American country. Because if I speak English, English is all over the place. White people got their culture, and it's all in a different form. But thousands of years ago, it wasn't so. Same thing with Greece. So what I'm trying to say is that the reason why Ethiopia has links with the so-called quote Greek culture is because those ancient peoples were actually um, black peoples. The ancient Ionians were black people, and the later day Greeks are Hellas, or the Hellenistic people, are the children of their ancestors called Hellas. Hellas, Hellas. That's where we get
Mm,
Hellenistic. So they were another group that came like with the Romans. The Romans, before the Romans were the Etruscan people. Etruscan. So the Latin people came and took over the territory and the kingdoms that were weak at that time. You know, like everything gets strong and then goes through its ups and downs. So when these cultures were weak, other cultures came over and took over. So the ancient Greek and the ancient Roman cultures originally were melanated people because they find artifacts of these people, and when they painted themselves, man, they painted themselves very dark. I don't know how many. I never really seen a white person that dark. I would basically say, who's your mama, who's your grandmama, your grandfather, your grandpapa. You know, because you can you know what I'm saying? They're darker, much darker than any of the Mediterranean people you see today. So those people basically today is a false thing. So we see them and we say, oh, Greek is the white man's thing. We don't recognize that they basically came in and adapted other people's culture and then inserted their own beliefs into another people's system that was already there. They just took over somebody else's system. So that's all I want to say about the Greek part. You know what I mean? So
true.
the reason why Ethiopia was speaking that is because they had interaction with people that were Greek, but they were not the white necessary Greeks of today from the
Well,
earliest.
it's known the Greek was the lingua franca, the the classical time, you know. So enough people that like to trade and thing it would have to know that language to deal with international people.
But I'm saying that the race of the people, I'm actually, I don't want to make this a racial point, but since a lot has become racial, we have to properly put things in their racial, you know, hold on for a moment. Kef to you, hold on for a moment. I'm actually gonna see to bring this up here. If I can bring this out. Hold on for a moment. Is there a way that I can share my presentation? But not presentation, not really a presentation, but it's like a screen share.
Yeah,
Let me see.
man. One on the thing you're supposed to be able to see something saying present, and you know.
let's see, share screen. Let's see something for a moment. Share screen. Hold on for a moment. Okay, yeah. Hold on for a moment. Let me see if I can bring this up right here. Okay, I gotta connect this thing. Okay, hold on for a moment. This thing should come up. Give me one moment. It's reading it. It's reading it. Come on, come on, come on. Come up, come up. It's still reading it. Okay, yeah, I got it. I got it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me. There we go. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up. You should see it right now. I don't know if you can. Let's see. Should I do this right here? I think you have to do it. Do you have to do this? You should see it right there. It's
I
at the
see in
bottom.
it. I see in it. I soon sort it out.
All right. Give thanks. Give thanks. I want to show you these people, and then people can follow up on it more. Right? Just the ancient Greek people, right? How they were pictured by the Egyptians. How the Egyptians pictured them. You know, and they brought gifts to Egypt back in the days. There we go, right there. I don't know if you can. Let's see. Let me see if I can move this around like this. Hold on for a moment. Let me see. Okay. Did it turn around? Let's
Yeah.
see. Okay, let's see for a moment. But it's not very okay. Here's an example. Right? This is one example. This was the ancient Greek people. The ancient, when I say Greek, the pre-Greek people, they were in the place. I don't know why it's not full screen. It's not full screen over there. Hold on for a moment. It might go off for a moment. Maybe it'll bring me in because it's not on the side. Like there's more on the side here, right? These people
Mm.
here were called because there's a whole other bar. Hold on for a moment. Let me do this here. Um, can we? I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment. Let me redo this because it's not a full screen, so you're not seeing it, and it's kind of odd. I might trying to show something,
Man,
and
once
it's
you show
on.
that, yeah, you're pulling it up. When you
Yeah,
show
yeah,
that,
yeah.
we go back to the lesson, same way.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll get back to the lesson just after just one brief thing. Since you mentioned the let's see, where's the share
The
screen?
Greek connection.
Yeah, the Greek connection, because it's like a failure of us to kind of recognize that yes, they were connected with the Greeks, but not the Greeks. Okay, here one more time. If you can bring that up, one more time, so you can see. Right there, you go, right here. So you see this right here at the top. You see where it says Kef. It's right here. This is what you should look up right here. Anybody look up these. This is what the Egyptians call them. Like when they talk about calf tour and stuff in the Bible, the Keftiu. These are these people right here, right? In ancient Egyptian texts, the Keftiu were referred to as the Minoan civilization, right? And you could go more into that. And when you look at the artifacts, right? The artifacts, these are some of the artifacts, how they picture them. So you can see how they picture these people right here, right? How they picture these people right here. Right now, if these are white people, then please show me them today. Right, in that sense, down here, some have them as light, some have them as dark. Right there. This is how they were pictured. Right. So these are the people that I'm saying that the ancient Ethiopians, when we see Greek connection, these are the kind of people they were dealing with, right? Like a brethren right there. You know what I mean? There you go. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's just a little bit more on that. And you can see this even right here. Look at this right here for a moment. This right here. You can see where the paint is fading off, but you can see what the darker colors were. You see what I'm saying? The paint is fading off of them. So they'll try to say it's more pink was their color, but you can see their color was more like reddish brown, so to speak. So anyway, we get back to the lesson. I just wanted to show that. Thank you for the share right here. I'll take this off right here. But thank you for the share right there, just to show that if we want to see the ancient Ethiopia connection, it was with Greek people who were the Keftiu, people from Crete, the Minoan people. All right. So thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Let's get into the lesson. Thank you for that little segue. That little segue right there. So yeah. That's why the Ethiopian culture is very precious, is because since their civilization goes back thousands of years and they were able to maintain their memory, maintain their language, maintain other things. They wasn't overrun by other people. There's a lot of wealth that we can find. within that culture. But here, to the lesson that's with us right here. So the Deborah and the Oddbar, right? The Deborah and the Oddbar right there. Um, so you want to keep going down till we get to the lesson exercise portion. Yes, I. Is I there? Did I drop off or the eyes in the background?
Now I right here, I right here.
All right, yeah. So we're in lesson two. We just talk about the noun plurals, the noun plurals, the Deborah and to the Oddbar, and now the plurals. Okay, here we go. Plurals formed by pattern replacement are often referred to as plurals, or internal plurals. Those with suffixes as external plurals. So, for example, on top, the example pattern A and pattern and B. The one on top is formed by broken plurals or internal, and then the one on bottom, odd bar. I mean, odd bar is broken. Sorry, yeah. The internal is. So you see, Ahmet. Now,
Amat and Amatat.
yeah,
A-
Ahmet. Actually,
Amet and Amatat.
and
Yeah.
Ahmetat. So the at the end is the suffix. That's the external one. So a suffix is added. But Deber, right, and Adbar is like you can see it's a rearrangement of the letters. It still has a D, B, and R, but it's like the A is in the beginning, and then between the B and the R, it's a long A. So that's what they mean by the broken one. Just to explain that right there. So pattern A is is broken internal plurals, and the B addition of an ending. So to Ahmet is added the at, Ahmetat, to say years. Basically, it's a word for year and years. Ahmet, a year, Ahmetat, years. Deborah, a mountain, Adbar, mountains. Because there's no sure way to predict, going on with the reading, predict the form of the plural from that of the singular, it is necessary to learn both forms from the outset. Now, this is true with Gutters. This is very true with Gutters. With Gutters, like it's best to kind of like learn these things, get familiar with it, right? These will be given in the lesson vocabularies. Some nouns have more than one plural form, so that means some words can be made a plural in two ways or so, though they may not be of equal frequency, right? Of equal frequency. The patterns used for noun plurals are, for the most part, distinctive and seldom occur in singular nouns. For reference only, the following list of plural noun types includes all but the rare form. So this is good. This is good right here. This is good right here. Now it has some like technical stuff on the right hand. The the aktal, the akatul, the akatel, the akatelet, akatilt, right? The katalt, right? The cutout. You know that right there. So we're not going to focus on that right there, though. That is like
But
how like linguistically
but
pattern.
here I have an explanation for that part there, right?
Right.
That kettle on top is it
Mhm.
come like is it come like is a pseudo word. This don't really mean nothing, right? But it trying to show you if there's the basic form of the word, this is the different ways that they would morph and they put the different vowels in. So it have the actal form where you put a long A and a A in front of the QT. So this is what they now do with the add bar. You understand? So you could take QTL for like any consonant. Them is
Mm,
just the consonant in it now. So like how we had add bar before, how we had debar before.
mm,
You see where they put the Q. This Q could be the D, could be the D, and this T would be the B, and this L would be the R now in the
mm.
in the you understand what I'm saying? So it come
Yeah,
like
no, I'm
so
getting what
it,
you're saying.
yeah. So on this second one here, the act tool, it come like this would have be the H, this is the G, and this is the R for Hagar into Agar. You
Can I
understand?
can I share something with you? Just on the same subject, on this very same subject,
Yeah.
on the same subject right here. We have this right here. We have this right here. Cause I just looked it up. Cause I remember this from Gutters. This is the word in Gutters. So it basically, you're right. It is kind of a pseudo kind of word, but it's actually is a word, and it's using the construction in a Gutters word to basically bring out the pattern, like you said, the pattern, right? For example, you might see this come on right here. I just shared this. I'm using this software. The next software I want you to check out is this Abyssinica Dictionary, right? You should be able to see this right here. So you see right here, so the I'm going to the root word of the ketel is the ketele, 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 ketele. You can see here you can actually look up words and type it in the Fidel. Just to show you this right here, I have this on my software. You see that's my keypad. It's this swipe or something Swift software where you can kind of put it on your phone. And so I have this to go from English to kind of Hebrew and here to Amharic. So I was able to type it in, right? Where you could type it in right there off your keyboard. So I remembered as you was talking, I said, wait, the word ketele means to kill, or like to kill, actually. It's the word to kill, right? Because down here it says, ketele tergum, the interpretation of ketele is gedele. Gedele mean like to kill, right? Basically, it's using this pattern right here, gedele. You see right here the verb, right? To be put to death, manslaughter, then oromifa, so forth and so on. So this page here, I just went to it because you are correct that they're using that for pattern. This is this site here, Abyssinica, as you can see at the top. But it is a word, right? It is a word, but it's used for a pattern kind of recognition. So you're right about that. That it's used for, like, for example, okay, we can go back to the other thing. I just wanted to show you this right here and also show you this site, the Abyssinica. If you look up Abyssinica, it'll probably lead you there and you can be able to
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Uh, give thanks.
yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Because you said you were still using the iota, so I said, all right. The brother, you suggest something, he gonna go test it, and if it's good, he gonna use it. And then other brothers, that's how we learn from one another. So the pattern right there that you see is kittel, is kittel. Actually, it'd be kittel, and then it's using the next word. Go over to the eg part at the top line, where it says there we go. So now it's using that pattern to show something that we have the word igar. That's igar, right? So the one in the English is igar, egar, right? The first one, yeah, igar. Igar is a plural of igar, igar. So igar in the good is a plural of igar, igar, igar. So igar, right? So the first one, okay, the first one, the one you have highlighted, that will be pronounced as igar, 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 igar. And then it's the plural of igar. So igar is a foot, like igre, my foot, igar. But feet will be Igar. Igar. That would be igar. Igar. And the singular would be Igar. And then the next one that you have with that aktal, right? The the second one, give thanks. The second one right there, right? Yeah, that's good. That's very good. Yeah, that's close. So the second one, the aktal, right? That's the pattern. Like the brother said, it's showing what the pattern would be. So we have adbar, like in other words, adbar. Adbar is the plural, which is mountain, right? Mountains, actually. Adbar is mountains. That's the plural of Deber, Deber, Deber. Like you say Deber Damo, Deber, right? Right. So the next pattern, right, the Aktul pattern, right, is Ahgor. Ah, Ahgor. Ahgore. Ahgor. Ahgor. What is Ahgor? Is cities. The cities. Ahgor, which is the plural of of Heger. Heger, right? We have Heger, Heger, right? Heger. I know we look at it as Hagar, but in Ge'ez, when we see it in Ge'ez, that's Heger. Heger, a city. Ahgor, Ahgor is cities. So it's showing us here different patterns. So in the column that's highlighted here is a singular. Let's go on. Let's go on to
Yeah,
the.
man. But quick note for the viewers:
Go ahead.
when you see in the regular A in this text here is a short A was similar to a E. Like it's not the long A sound like when it had the long when it had the bar on top of the A, it have is the normal A sound like what we have in English.
Ah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that'll be he. That'll be eh. That has an S sound in a sense. So the ak, okay, that's actil. Actil is abtil, abtil. So that's abitir, abtil. Abtil is the plural of better, better, right? Better, right? So like if I was to write that word you have highlighted in English, I would probably use today the BETR, or sometimes you might see that word as BETIR, like just one way people write it in English. But that's better, better, better. Better is like rod, like the staff, like the
Well,
scepter.
as an English speaker, you kind of would see the similarities with saying baton, you know.
A baton, yeah, boom. I would never thought about that. It was good. Baton, baton. Yeah, Baton Rouge. Red Bat. Yeah, better, better. So then we have the Ankh tilt. Ankh tilt. That we have Agbert. Agbert. Right? Agbert. So the E is actually like a I sound. Agbert. B. Agbert. Right? The Agbert is the plural, is servants. That's the word is servants. Agbert. And the singular is Geber. Geber, Geber. Like in names, people have baptismal names like Gebra, Selassie, Gebra, Mariam, Gebra, Jesus, Gebra. You know what I'm saying? So that's Geber, 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 Geber. Somebody say like Geber, 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 Geber. Right? Say that brr, Geber, Geber. But then in good is to say the servant of Gebre, Gebre Xavier, Gabriel, servant of God, Gabriel Mardian, servant of Mary, Gabriel Yesu, servant of Gabriel Nagu, servant of the King. Yeah, so that's Gabriel. Yeah. Next is the no, that'll be the Ketelt pattern is there we go. We have negesht, 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 negesht. Now, no, we see that as nagast, like the way we would say it in English, but in the good is here negesht, right? And that's the plural kings, right? That's the plural of negush, negush in good is negush, negush, negush. Now, let me say this: that you have some Gu'ez priests and others who do chants and they know the liturgical Gu'ez, but sometimes their Amharic speaking it influences the way they speak Gu'ez. So they might say Nagu still, but in Ge'ez it would have been Nagush, right? Nagusha, like Nagusha Nagesht. Nagusha, the king of Nagesht. Ge'ez, later Nagusa Nagesh. Nagusha Nagesht. So yeah, Nigush. Right? Now here, what they do to the other pattern? Okay. Now this is a real etymological pattern. This is like the C. You see the C1, AC2. That
That easy, you know, it just look a little complex.
I know,
All
I
I
know, I
want,
know.
yeah. For the listening audience, that is
That's
just
good.
consonant one, consonant two, consonant three, consonant four, and they say they put in a in front, a long A in between, a E in the third place, and a T in the end.
Yo, brother Ankoma Sharp. I like how you said that. I like how we kind of play that. I said, yo, look at this one here. And I said, that's easy. And he broke it down right there. So here with that pattern, correct with the pattern, we have melaikt, melaikt, melakt, melaikt, mela, me. Melaikt. Melakt. Melaikt. Melaikt is to say like messengers or angels. Literally, it's messengers, but often we see it, as angels. But really, an angel is just a messenger, a courier. The singular is melak, melak, melak. So the singular of angel in Ge'ez is melak, 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 melak. Like we say, malaku, malaku, Emmanuel Bayan, melak, melak. You see the difference of soft A? You see how the soft A glides? Melak, right? Melak, melak. So that kind of the apostrophe, it means that in saying it, you can't just if you gloss over it, you might confuse what you're saying. So like melaikt, melaikt, melaikt. It's not melakt, but melaikt. So that there's a in the gut is you emphasizing certain sounds is part of pronouncing them so you don't confuse them for another word. Melakt and melak. Next one, the pattern is let's go to pattern there. We have on well anakis. 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 Anakits. Anakits. Right? Is the plural is gates. Anakits. Anakits, the plural of ankets. Ankets. So a singular gate, ankets. Many gates, anakits. Anakits. That S underneath is like it's like that sharp kind of A. Right? So ankets, gates. Right? Ankets.
As a, like a TS, no?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like you might have heard something called the Anketze Burhan, the Gates of Light, the Gate of Light. It's a famous like book, liturgical book about the Gate of Light. But yeah, Ananketz, and Anketz. Lastly but not leastly, is the what akatil. I keep saying till, excuse me. Akatil, akatil, not hard T. Akatil, right? There we have that pattern. We have the aba abagit, 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 right? Abagit, abagit, abagit is like sheep, many sheep. Abagit, and that comes from singular sheep. Beg, beg, it, beg it, beg it, beg it. So beg it, beg it. You might like begimder, place in Ethiopia, land of sheep. Beg it, right? So beg. I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. So there. Now, now even from that lesson there, after you see that and after we get it and we're gonna work it out, brother, to get it into the right like writing, like in the fidel.
Yeah.
That's very important because a lot of the the Gutta's works that are available use those words. You'll find those words in a lot of like the churchical and other Gutta's writings. So you'll see it if you start to go through study, you'll come across it often. So the syntax 2.2 here, right? The syntax was like the order of the sentence, how the sentence is ordered. Like, for example, quickly in English, we usually put the subject first, and then we put the object, the subject first, the verb, and the object. So we use a pattern. I use a pattern SVO, subject first. I um I am going to the store. What's the subject? I. What's the next thing? Going, the verb, V. And then the object is store. But the pattern, the syntax, the order in good is a little bit different. So here, the nominal subject of a verb, the subject normally follows it immediately. So in other words, to show this in English, instead of saying I am going to the store, we would say going I to the store. So if I say going I to the store, this is how the good is pattern, the verb, right, comes first, and normally the subject follows. Going, right, I to the store. The problem of the agreement between verb and subject will be discussed in lesson 5. So basically, sometimes you have a verb that might be plural and the subject is singular or vice versa, but they go into that in lesson 5. It is sufficient here to note that nouns denoting a male human beings are masculine, and those denoting female human beings are feminine. So Ethiopic, like Hebrew and other languages, are gendered. Ethiopic, like Hebrew and even Arabic, they are what we call not just gendered, but they are binary. You know what I mean? There are some things that are feminized and some things that are masculine. The verb agrees with these nouns in number and gender. So usually the verb agrees. So that means that if I'm saying that these women went to the store, right? That means the verb would be plural and it'll be in the feminine form. You see what I'm saying? Vice versa with like men. So let's get our first example. The first example here, we have hore, hore nigush, hore nigush, hore. Now you see the H with that with the dot underneath. You know, you know which one that is because it's on the chart. It's the second. It's the second H.
Yeah,
It's
man.
like the huh. It's like huh, not ha, but huh. Yeah, you see it right over there. It's right there. There you go, right over there. You got it right. It's right next to you.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's that one. It's like a ha, like a huh. It's like when you hear Arabic speakers, they'll say, for example, Muhammad, Alhamdulillah, ha. It's like a guttural, like almost like when you say it properly, it's almost like your diaphragm. I won't say pops, but it, you know, ha. You know that, yeah. So this would be like hore, hore, nigush. Not but hore, nigush. So hore means like he went. Hore, he went, nigush, right? The king. Like, in English, we'll say the king first went. But in the Gutters, it's like saying he, male, went, nigush, the king. So the king is the he male that went. Below it, let's do the below it, the woman went. Horet, horet, horet be'isi, horet be'isi, be'isit, be'isit, horet be'isit. So you'll notice that the woman, right, went is she went, the woman. The literal is horet be'isit, is literally saying she went. Who is she? Be'isit. Be'isit. The woman. Be'isit. Be'isit. Right? Horeta be'isit. Right? Then we have they. Right? So the kings went. Horu, negesh, horu. Horu is they men, horu, right? Who are they men? Negesht, negesht, negesht. The kings went. Horu, negesht. Then we have the woman, right? Hora, hora. Hora is to say they female. Hora, they female, right? Honest, 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 right? Honest, honest, honest. So honest is actually kind of the plural form, for like woman, honest, honest, hora, honest. So it gives us these basic. The key thing is the word for going, right? Hore for a man, horet for a woman, singular, horu for men, plural, and hora for woman, plural, right? So now they have these exercises also that gives us some further kind of examples. Any cues, any questions, like any reasoning on that right there?
Yeah, I think I find it kind of strange that
Mm,
the singular for this plural form of the woman. it not seeming similar to be a set now. It,
that
not
that
seem
is
really different,
that's interesting right there. No, no, no. The eye is quite correct. In fact, just to refamiliarize me, give me one moment right here. I just want to look this up right here. Um, let's see right here. Just look this up in this dictionary here. This is like the back of the book. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. The construction. Let's see. Where is this right here? Okay, well, no doubt we'll get to that. We'll get to that right there. But yeah, the construction there is different. It kind of reminds me just a little bit of the Hebrew, a little bit, right? But all right. Let's get to the next part. No, I was trying to look it up in the glossary back. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh man, okay, the book that you have on the good is there. You have the dictionary, right?
Which dictionary?
The
It
dic-
is a
the glossary. Actually, not a dictionary. It's like more like a glossary. The glossary to the Lambden. This book here, the Lambden book. You
yeah,
have that?
once it's in the book, I go have it there.
Okay, okay. Write this down for a moment. Go to 391 when you get a chance. Like this is just it breaks it down here because we have Be'isi is man and Sabit is men and Be'isit is woman and Anist is woman singular, Be'isit, and Anist is woman plural. It has it in the back of the book, like on page 391. Yeah, and it doesn't. It takes some getting used to. Like you said, it doesn't really. You don't see the similarity so easily between the singular and the plural. But yeah, just take note, everybody. Vocabulary too. This is the. Oh, you're gonna go back to three. Can you search the page like that? 390 something.
Yeah, pulling it up. I'm pulling it up there in the background now.
All right, good. Yeah, man, yeah, man. 391. Um, it, well, I hope the numbering is the same, but yeah, it should be 391 in the glossary section. This is a great book here, y'all. Right? Introduction to Classical Ethiopic, aka good is. Some say geese, but that's just the English way. Good is good is good is good is yeah good is yeah yeah. It's interesting because we make hard and soft sounds of a vowels all the time, like in English. When we say things, but it's more based on how we want to emphasize something. It's kind of interesting, though it's not written in the language. And then we find a language that has the hard and soft sounds. Look at that. It was built for us. But it's under the B, the B the B words, the B entry, 391.
Yeah, I have it here now. Soon pull it up now.
Yeah. I'm not trying to rush the I just I'm just
No,
looking
no, no.
at the beauty of
Inside, man.
it's kind of interesting because in the next part of the lesson it comes up. I'm looking at my hard copy, but it's a good thing the mind got it right there. There. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's a good copy, man. Yeah. They got everything is online now. No, no, for real. That's good. That's good, y'all. Y'all better find the copies and download and save it. And print it out if you can. Or get a hard copy. There you go. Bisi, right? Bisi, Bisi, man, Bisi, right? And Saba is men. And then Bisi, what you got highlighted there, they go, man, and then besit, then honest, plural, women's them, right? Women's or wives. It could be woman or wife. You know what I mean? And it's like his woman equals like his wife. Her man, her husband. You know what I'm saying? In that sense. You know. Yeah, there you go, right there. That's yeah. That's a very good dictionary, man. I'm still looking for any good as dictionary. So anybody know any good as dictionaries, please, you know, put it in the link or share it with Ankoma Jed, or share it with us right here now or in the future. Yeah, man. So here in the lesson that we have, thank you so much, bro, for going to that right there. You know, we okay, yeah. But actually, it's in the vocabulary coming up. Let's get to the vocabulary coming up. But thank you for going there. I got curious. I said, yeah, let me refresh myself. So here we have vocabulary for the second lesson. The vocabulary for the second lesson, right? The noun, some nouns. Heger, right? Ahgor. Heger, Ahgor. Heger, right? Heger, right? Ahgor. Ahgor, Hagar, Ahgor, cities. Negush, king, and Negush, Negush, singular king, and Negesht, kings, right? The word for house. Now you see the word right there, the B, the E, the B, the E with the hyphen over it.
Mm.
That is the vowel at the O E R A. That's the fifth order vowel. So that
The
is the
long E.
yeah, the A. It's like an A sound, a hey, A sound. Bait,
Mm.
bait, bait. Right. So bait is house. The plural is aviat is homes or houses. Aviat, right? Aviat. So we have bait, a house, and aviat, house. Then we have Deber, and Adbar. Deber, a mountain. Adbar, mountains. Then we have servant, Geber, Geber, and Agbert. Geber, one servant. Agbert, servants. Then that's why I saw it looking ahead. We have the for man, Be'isi, 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 singular, and Seb, not Seb, but Seb. You see that apostrophe, that little apostrophe after the B in Seb?
Yeah.
When you see it written, it's actually like a letter. It's actually a letter. So it might just look like just like it sounded too. It's like the sound. Se.
Is that kind of A sound, eh? That kind of A.
It's like an sound. Yeah, it's an a sound, but it's like an I don't know how we would It's like an sound. Like se bit se bit
Mm. Mm.
se bit right? And then the plural, right? It says the plural also means people in general. Like for example, in Amharic, they may say family. Like if I say beta beta sabe in nature, like beta sebe, beta, the house of sebe, the house of, like, say you, like this in your family, right? The house of the man, your family, like how are they? So that's why it says here the plural also means people in general. So the plural form of the word for man can mean like people, sebe. Sebe can mean like sebe, yeah, beta seb. It's an interesting word. I have some ideas about, but we'll come back to that maybe another time. You know, yeah. So be'isit, be'isit. So even that apostrophe, the apostrophe you see there, after the e, it's a sound, right? So it's is the e is a is sound, and then the apostrophe by itself is a I. So it's I seat. Be is seat. Woman, a woman, singular, and honest, 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 honest. Like women's, like women, many women, like more than one, or wives, call the call the woman, call the wives. The is seat, a woman. Then we have Wow, this word here hadn't. This is an interesting word here. Hammer, 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 hammer. Right, the hammer is like a boat, a ship. Hammer. The plural of it is ahmar, 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 ahmar. You see that? Ha, ha, ha. Ahmar. It's like a boat, like boats, ships. Right? So hammer, ahmar, 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 ahmar. Right? So hammer, ahmar. Now, those are just the nouns, like the plural, the singular and the plural, the singular and the plural, right? In the goods. Now, verbs. Okay, now here's some verbs. Let's see this right here. We have metza, 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 or metza. What is metza? Is the verb to come. Literally, it means like he came, right? Literally, but it's the verb root to come, right? Now, what's interesting is in Amharic, the word is meta, meta. So in Amharic, we have meta or metza, which come from metza'a. So the good is metza'a becomes meta in Amharic, just to show that kind of link. You know what I mean? There you go, the word to come. And then we have this is wet wet the wet. Now the D with the dot underneath, right? The D with the dot underneath, right? It's these two sounds. When you look at the fidel, the two sounds in Amharic, most of the sounds sound similar. They don't distinguish between the th, the th, and the what you call it again, the th, th, th. Right, I'm close to it, but there's some speakers, who are they got it right. So it's the one with the. There you go. There we go. Right there. So this one had like the one on top has more of a S sound, and the other one has more of a kind of a D. Yeah, the D sound. It's like ah ah ah. One is and one is like it's like ah It's like a deeper sound. But in Amharic and today, these sounds are kind of very the distinguishment. I can do it, but it's like I'm a little rusty to bring out the exact. One is eh and one is eh. One is eh and one is eh eh eh. One is eh. One more has an S sound and one has a little more of a kind of a D sound. Right? If you notice the letter, it's the same as the ein. Remember earlier the A, the hard A. So one is more like
Yeah.
eh, and one is more like eh, It's a deeper sound. One is sound like a hard eight, a hard S, eh, and the other one is more like eh, eh.
I watching that sign there, and
Mm.
in connection with the Greek thing too, there's theta, like theta.
Oh,
Then
Zeta, oh Zeta, yeah, 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 Zeta, yeah. That's a good connection, man. Thank you, man. Yo, you was yeah. Your eye was on the sparrow. What they say? The eye on the sparrow. The eye was on the sparrow right there. You're right. It is. It is a kind of an interesting connection. You know what I mean? But I said the reason why the Ethiopic has this is not like some of the naysayers would say. It just shows the ancient connections, of the people, and that these people were not so much. They may have lived in different places, but it's not like there was not influence both ways. You see what I'm saying? And anyway, that's the what. So the what over there in our column right there with the D, the D with the dot underneath. What It has a deeper sound than the one on top is more metza. The one on bottom is what. A little deeper and sound more like the D, right? Like in the theta, right? to go, to come forth, to emerge, right? Now, when it has the what was it called? A preface, the preposition, when it has M. So you see the EM? Can you see the EM there? With M, the width. You see what it says width next to emerge? There we go. Yeah. You see the thank you, bro, for going back and forth to show the people and even remind that was good there. So you see the word M in Ge'ez means with M. Like for example, conquering line of the tribe of Judah, right? In the title, right? The title of the King of Kings and other proper, right, anointed rulers, right? We have Moa Anbesa Ze'im Neged. So Ze means of, Im means like from within, like from the tribe. So with Im, that's the Im there. So when used with Im, like like it can mean like from, like leaving from someplace, right? To depart from, to spring from, or to originate. It can have a sense of emanate, but not with all the religious mumbo jumbo of other pseudo-isms. But it has a sense of like to where you emerge from, where you exit, where you come forth from. You know what I mean? The next one is boa. Boa. Now this is interesting here. This is mad interesting because in our Hebrew lessons, in Hebrew, the word to enter in is bo. So in Hebrew, the word to like come in or enter in is bo. Bo. And here in Ge'ez, we have boa, 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 to enter. Then it can use the wista, like Wista, like kind of the sense of like into, right? Wista, like to, like to enter into the city or enter into the house, or the bet. Bet is like the preposition, like he entered in, bebait. He went entered in into the house, right? That sense. The next word, wedke, wedke, wedke. Wed, it means to fall, right? Or to fall down or collapse. It's also shared in Amharic too. Like it can mean to fall or it can mean to fail. Like if you took a class and you wedke, it's like you failed the class. But literally it means like the fall, right? Wedke. So let's go over this. The ones we have here so far, the verbs. Metzah, metzah, to come. What what to like come forth, like to emerge from, or can mean to leave or spring from. What we have boa, to enter, but like to enter in, like not just entering, but you're going in somewhere, right? Boa. And then we have wedka is like to fall down, wedka, to collapse, wedka. Now we love these. I love these lessons because even we're at the second lesson, but sometimes if you go over these lessons, like even sometimes if you're in further lessons, just go back to the earlier lesson. It's a good breakdown this here. So here we have the adverbs, that some of the adverbs. The adverbs, the verbs. Then we have the adverbs. The adverbs, they modify the verb. They like put the verb in a kind of a context. We have the adverbs there. We have here, here, behia, here and behia. Here, right? Here is down there. Yeah, the here. Remember the E, we're using this transliteration. So the E is a
Yeah,
I sound and the A is a S sound.
yeah,
So yeah, that takes a little getting used to. But you know what, bro? Like years, more than maybe 2 decades ago, this book was very helpful in me mastering some basics of goodness. So, but what I had to do, I had to kind of program myself that when I'm looking at this, you know what I mean? It's kind of like I kind of saw it in my mind's eye, in a sense. So this is he, hiya, hiya, behiya, hiya, behiya, there, hiya, where, hiya, there, or behia, in that place, behia, here, there, Behia. In that place, next to it is Im Imhia. Imhia. Remember, Im means with, but Im can mean from. Im like from. Im, right? From here, from there, or like thence, from there. Im here. So here, Behia, Im here. There, right here, be here, in that place, am here, am from here, from there, right? Then we have um Zia, right? Then we have Zia, Zia, Z, or wait, Zia, Zia, Z, Zia, and Bezia, Zia, Zia, and Bezia, right? So Zia mean here, right? So is it here, here, or Zia? Zia is here. Zia here, Bezia, Bezia, in this place, Bezia, Bezia. Or Imzia, 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 M from Zia, here, hence, Imzia. So from Imzia, from here on, Imzia, lesson, so Zia, Zia, right? Now, those are the adverbs, right there. But one thing you'll find about the good is it has small words, small words. There's some small words that once you understand what they basically mean, you'll see them over and over again. You know what I mean? In different forms. And by understanding those basic forms, it kind of helps kind of get the kind of good is way, right? It uses these words like, from in different forms. But here we have the conjunction, the conjunction. The conjunction here is wet, right? Wet, right? Which means and. Wet literally means and. Wet, right? This is written as part of the following word, right? So we have be'isi, web be'isit, be'isi, web be'isit. Right? Greetings, be'isi, web be'isit. Greetings, man and a woman, right? Be'isi, a man, where be'isit. So usually the conjunction where is usually attached. Where is usually attached to whatever the word is. Where be'isit. Right? Man, like a man, be'isi, where, and be'isit, and a woman. Right? So yeah, the where is a conjunction. Of course, we dispute this sometimes with the Hebrew. Some would kind of like say they be saying the vet. Modern Hebrew, other speakers say vet. But thanks to the Yemenis they speak the Hebrew. The Yemenis Jews they use the wet like the Ethiopians. Wet. There we go. What you at the wet? Yeah, it's that one letter up there. The wet. There we go. There we go. That's the wet right there. That's the wet. So that one letter right there is and. Wet. Where what? Where what? And what? No, where. All right. So how, how they by so far? Like how the eye so far on this rate? We might pick up with some of the exercises, but go over. I definitely would like to follow up with the exercises. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
know,
man.
touch on. You want to touch on a few of them right
Yeah.
here?
We have some of the examples, but remember we say that the transliteration thing might be a little bit off. So if we catch one, two little errors, pardon it still, you know?
Yeah. But you know what? I want to say like my bad on that too. You know what I mean? Because like good is amazing language. You know what I mean? It's amazing language, but it's like yeah. I'm a little rusty, but I give thanks to my brother Ankoma Jed, for sharpen iron. What it says, iron sharpen iron. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay, let's do this right here. Let's do. Okay, no, I can't show you like this. Okay, mm, okay. You have the fourth A, like it's chebe, 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 geber. So the word gever is proper. The one in Heber, the first one, the first letter is a little off. It's supposed to be, you see at the top right there on the feet. There it goes. There it goes. You rate on it. You rate on it. You rate on it. There, boom. That's the one. That's the one that should be there instead of the fourth one. That'll be the only update right there. Because if there's any mistakes, it usually would be like that between the long A and the short A, because like the software, the translation, yeah, that's the one. That's Chebe. That's the Che in Chebe right there. That's the Chebe. There you go. There you go. Man, man got it down. There you go. No, the X. Hit the X on your keyboard. You know what's the X? Let's see which one.
I had to check the code there. Where it would be.
Wow, I haven't used this software in a moment, so I might be.
Is a capital H. Is a is a double H.
Wait, is it? Let's see. Go with it. There you go. There you go. Hit it. Hit the E now. Hit the E. Hit the E. There you go. There you go. You see that? When you hit the E, you see how the vowel change from the ch to ch. It changed from ch to ch. Yeah, there you go. That's that one there. So, okay. Yeah, there you go. Right there. Can you got there you go. Um, can you make it can you change the font size? Yeah. You got it there. Yeah. There you go.
How you mean?
It's
It,
large.
it's
The
large. You may put
yeah,
it like in the same
yeah.
code.
I don't know if it's like what punch you got right there.
Um,
There you
C2.
go. There, boom, boom, boom. Beautiful, man. Yeah. There you go. Hebe, hebe. So all the hebes, yeah, all the hebes, but the geber, the geber, hebe, geber, right? Heber. So the heber, what is the heber? What's the verb? That was from lesson one. That was from lesson one. You got
Mm.
me like also like looking at the heber in lesson one. What's the heber? Heber means like with near, like Heber, right, with or near to the servant, like with the servant,
Yeah.
right, near to the servant. Heber. That was from lesson
From
one.
lesson one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Heber becheber, right, nearby or to Heber, like yeah, by the servant, with the servant, near or at the servant, right? So yeah, near to the servant, with the servant, yeah, yeah, with but it breaks it down here. Just I'm looking at page 17, and it says like by, with, at, near, depends on the context, like a person or place, like
Mm-hmm.
Heber Negush, like with the king, Heber Geber, like with or near, with, near, by, like a servant, yeah, by the servant, but yeah, that's
What
yeah.
page was that?
That was 17. 17. If you go back one page, the yeah, seven, let's see how 17 come up. Um um oh okay, it's those other pages. Yeah, it's going to the what you call them. It's going to the IV, the Roman number page. Keep scrolling up, keep scrolling up. And get up to 17. I'm looking at 17 in the margin. So it's not the 17th page, but it's like the number of the page on the side, not because they have those. There you go. There you go. There you go. Right there at the top. No, scroll down. Scroll down.
It's
Scroll down.
right here.
Yeah,
M M
yeah,
M Haba
no, no, not M.
from within.
No, not M. Not M. Cheba. It's Cheba at the top, right?
Right,
Cheba, the person.
Haba or Bahaba
Yeah,
by
but
with ne.
yeah. There we go. Yeah. To, yeah, near. Yeah, so you say to the servant or with the servant, depending on the context. It doesn't give us the full context, so it depends on. But the Cheber, yeah, Bech Cheber is like yeah, maybe that might be like really nearby the servant. But I would say
Mm.
this probably mean like It says two towards the servant. You know what's interesting? When it said that
I
Ethiopia
feel it
stretched.
mean I feel it mean like with the servant, like you're sending something with the servant. Habab Gaber. Yeah.
I will agree with you. No, I'll agree with you on that because in Psalm 68, where it says that Ethiopia shall stretch forth her hands to God, in the Ge'ez it says Heber, like Heber, the way ha Heber Exiabia, like towards. So it can mean to the servant too. Like in Psalm 68 in the Ge'ez, you use the same kind of Heber, right? You use the same Heber. Well, you have Ethiopia stretch forth her hand. You have that on there? Wow, wow, that's nice and detailed there. In Moan Besset. Why I didn't see all that detail in there? Yo, give thanks, man. There you go, there you go, there you go, right there, next to it, next to it. Go over the side. Go the other way. Go the other way around the circle. There you go, there you go, there you go. You see right there? There you hit it. Boom. You see Heber? There's a Heber right there. So it says Ethiopia, Ethiopia Tabetze Tabetze Idewiha Heber Exiabia. Ethiopia Tabetze Idewiha, her hands, Idewiha Heber towards Exiabia. Ethiopia shall like stretch or run her hands, like stretch her hands. Tabetze, excuse me, Tabetze Idewiha Heber. So that's it there, the Heber. Wow, yo, you good, man. Rastafari good to the eye, man, because like I know the coin, but I don't know if I pre. I mean, so many images, visuals, but that was good there. That was, there's the Heber. So people can see the Heber right there on the coin. That's the good is of Psalm, what is 68, verse 31?
Yeah,
Mm,
68.
mm. Yeah, yeah. So that's good is. That's the good is for you. All that is the good is. So yeah. So
Just quickly before we jump back in,
go ahead.
these inner words here, what you making out? These inner words here. If
Mm.
you guys can see it.
The I really believe that I really have faith what the word says. To ask, right? Right? It says, ask and it shall be given. Come on, I glance on that because you zoomed it in. Yo, I've seen this, but I don't know if I zoomed in this large. The inner words there is Moa an Besazem Negeda Yehuda. So from the right, the left hand is Moa. First two words, Moa. 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 Yeah, Moa. Moa. Moa mean conqueror, like conquering or like one who overcomes, one who's victorious. Anbesa is the next word. Anbesa, right there. The sa is a little bit light, but it's there. Anbesa. Then next is ze. Now pause right there. Pause this cursor. You see where you at right there? The next letter over. That's the I. And you see the next word over, the next letter, sorry, is mi. That's the M. Remember the M, like we're looking at here in the text? That's the M. So that's two prepositions, zem.
Right, right.
Zem would mean like of in to say from in. Negede, that's negede. Negede in the good is the tribe of. Wow, that's a beautiful zoom in. Zem negede, right? From in the tribe of, and then you have Yehuda. So please come off of the Yah. It's not Yah there. Yehuda means praise. Yehuda means celebrated, praised. It doesn't mean that God praises. It means that Judah is praised. Yehuda is celebrated. Right? And so yeah, that's the conquering line of the tribe of Judah from the Ge'ez. In the Ge'ez right there. Wow, that's a good zoom, man. I don't know if I've ever seen it that large.
Yeah, man.
You
I
can see
mean,
the fingerprints. You can see the fingerprints on the coin, man. Yeah, you made out the other part, right? You made out the other part on the front side of the coin, right? You made out that part, right? On the front
yeah,
side.
yeah, man. I could read it. You see, I was saving this image as a
Mm.
kind of bonus, little kind of image translation where we could have thing out. You know what I mean? But this part here for the audience. Well, what happened now? 1 second, eh?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to get
So
them,
that's a
man.
good. That's a good zoom. The thing really zoomed in really well, man. Got into the nitty gritty of it. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was that was a good zoom. That was some CSI kind of zoom. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So, for the audience who seeing this, or they could pause the video and then try to go and make out the glyphs where you see in here, you know. But
Wow, that's that's a work right there. Like that's a good work. Like going back and forth. Um, w- would you like me to
I don't
enunciate
know.
it?
I think it is Kadamawi, Haile, Selassie, Negus, Negas, Ze Ethiopia.
Yo, I'll have to give you. I'm gonna have to give you a 90. I'll give you a high 90, man. You know, but hear this.
Yeah,
Kedamawi Haile. If we pronounce it, since we're on these good is lesson, since it's a good is name. I heard
yeah,
some say that it's Amharic. No, it's not Amharic. It's not Amharic. If it was Amharic, it would be like Yes Selassie Chayil. Yes Selassie Chayil. But in the good it says Kedamawi, yes, Haile. Not lay, but le. Haile. Because Haile would be like my power. Haile will be power of. Haile Selassie or Shalase. So it's Kedamawi Haile Shalase in the Gutters, right? Not in Amharic speaker speaking Gutters. There's different. Amharic speaker speaking Gutters will say Kedamawi Haile Selassie. But speaking Gutters based on the lesson, Kedamawi Haile shall I say, Negusha, Negusha, like we studied Negusha, the king of Negusha, Negesht, right? Negusha, Negesht, Ze Ethiopia, right? Ze Ethiopia. But in the regular way that it will be said by Amharic speakers, Kedamawi Haile, Selassie, Negusa, Negest, Ze Ethiopia, right? Ze Ethiopia. You know the put. You remember you asked for the put? The put. You see the put, right? The Puya in Ethiopia, the Ethiopia. The next one over. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that is that put right there. That's that put. Ethiopia.
The PI.
Yeah, Ethiopia. Yeah, ain't that something? Yeah, is already there. So just think about that. Yeah, yeah. That's the. No, it will be the sixth one. The sixth one. The sixth order. Ep oop eep op a pip o. Pep poop peep pay pip. Oh, there we go. Um, the next to yeah, you got it right there. There we go. That's the one. That's the p p yeah. Ethiopia, Ethiopia, Tobia, Tobia, Ethiopia. Yeah, but that's Thank you for that coin, man. That was I must have missed that on the coin. I don't know, but thank you for iron sharpen iron. So yeah, so just in a little bit, just a little bit of the exercises right there, and this was a good exercise right here with kind of going to the lesson here, and then you bringing out the cheber on the coin. That's based on the song, what's written on the song. So the cheber geber, right? When you get a chance, maybe update the. There's a second one, becheber. You see the becheber beisi, um, beisi. Okay, there's two. That is correct. The first one is completely correct. The second one, that is correct. The first word, but the second word, correct the B. The be'isit is not be'isit. What you have there is be'isit. So get the bit. Bet boo be ba be bit. The sixth one for the second word be'isit. Because what's there is be'isit. Not that one, but hit the um how's that work again? I think it's the no, not that one. Okay, you know what? Hit the B again. Hit the B again. Right? There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's it. That's it right there. B is seat. So the E that you see in the transliteration is the I. Is the sixth column. Right? So not there, not there, not there. No, not there. The second word. There we go. The first letter. The first letter of the second word. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's it there. Be'isit. 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 All right. So Becheber Be'isit. What we say like with the what we say with the woman? What we say what says Becheber, Becheber Be'isit, Becheber with the woman, right? Or to the woman. right? So it so I would
I
say
had to see.
I'll say with or to the woman, like with, because remember the context will come out with more. This is just like a simple lesson, so it's just kind of like seeing like that we can kind of connect the with, with the woman. It could be with the woman or it could be to the woman, like near the woman. Depends on the context,
Yeah.
based based on yeah. But with the woman, let's say just go with the woman. Let's see this one. So the one that we have here, what's that? D bet. Now D bet, you need the first B, bet. So it's not D ba, but it's D bet, D bet, D bet, D bet, Hemmer, Hemmer.
Did same be here?
No, it will be. You can take the B from Beheber. Take the be or Beheber or the be in the. Take either B, either or B. You can take because it's the same. It's the same Fidel. Be, the first one. Yeah, that's D bet, D bet. So the D bed was what was D bed again? D bed was like D bed like on the ship. Yeah, D bed like upon the ship or on the ship, right? Like upon, on, upon. D bed Hemmer. Now the Hemmer, the M has to be corrected. The middle letter has to be corrected too. In Hammer, Hammer is, you have Mar there. You have Hamar. It's supposed to be Hamer. So it'll be the first M, the first M. The first M there too. For number three, what I suggest is that we may have to rewrite. That's what I've done personally. I rewrite the English because I get what he does. He's consistent in the book and it works in the book. But
I
how
know what
we
you mean. Yeah, it could confuse a learner that the A is a E and the E is a A and them kind of thing. And you
Yes,
translate in the code now, but it's useful because it making it like the bar one is just the long one, the A and the E is the long. You know what I mean? It's sensible, but it need a little decoding. You know.
yeah, I have a sample of alternative, but in the book, because once you understand how he uses in the book, and you just follow that, like I thought I was crazy because I actually reformed my way of thinking so I could figure out how he does it. But I recognize that if I just took the goods, I would use different English letters. So the M in the Hemmer needs to be updated. The M needs to be the first meh. It's meh, not ma. So you have ma there. You have the ma there, and yeah. So it's Dibe Hemmer, Dibe Hemmer, like not to the boat, but like upon the boat, on the boat, like on a boat, on a boat, actually, on a boat, right? Um, yeah, on a boat. Now that we're getting into that detail, be a, because not there's no, yeah, it's like just a boat. There you go. But correct the g is the letter if you can.
Which one? The
The,
is letter.
not that, but on top, the one right above your cursor, the M. You see the M is ma. The M
Yeah,
is ma.
it's
It
supposed to
should
be
be.
ma.
It's really meh, meh.
Oh, it's supposed to say me.
Remember the single A is the eh, and the line over it is the ma. There you go, there you go. That's it there. Yeah. Hammer.
Put
Diba
in this
hammer.
one.
That's it right there. All right, because I'm gonna try to share some like some writings, like there's a few writing, most of it's religious, like it's like it's religious writings, but still it's good because it can give us at least something to like see it written. Yeah, Dibe Hammer. And since we're doing this right here, say with a woman, with a woman, like with a woman, like with a woman, like with a woman, and the same thing with a servant, like with a servant, because later on he'll probably give us the, like how to say the. right?
Right.
Right there, yeah. So that one is um was this done by the by like the automatic like feeding in the
Yeah, just drag it in and let it do what it do. So we
oh, but
just
it's
kind
good
of
still.
recooking it. Yeah.
It's good as like kind of a rough something, and then you can go over and put finishing touches on it. Like
Well,
okay, the imminent, the imen, the imen, the imminent. Okay, the imminent. Hold on for a minute. Imminent, imminent. Okay, okay. The vowel that is, I mean, the sound, the change there. Imminent. Where we at? Imminent. It's the ne. It's just the ne. Right, imminent. Why do you have two N's there? Imminent. So okay, I get it. I get it. Imminent, imminent, imminent. Right. Hold on for a moment. Imminent. Is he just writing two N's or is it two N's in the? I'm trying to remember in the gutters. Okay, okay. It's not two N's. Yeah, they have two N's there, but it's not two N's. It would basically be go back to the fidel, the where you type in the fidel and it'd be the first net. It'd be the first net. Um, like the end, just the end of the first order, like that one, not that one. Hit the E. There you go. That one right there. So basically, instead of in the M and net, you have it's like amen in that. It says amen in that in the so basically take out the two ends and replace it by what you just typed right there. Yeah, the and then take out the last one. The last one can go. The nah. That's nah there. Yeah, take that one out if you can. Yeah. And bit is C. You have the word is correct except for the first letter. Remember the bit? It's the bit. The sixth one. Bit is C. Bit is C. So you can take that from either one. The woman one, yeah. Or the man right there. Bit is C. Bit is C. Bit is C. Um um imminent. Oh, that's interesting for believe. Yeah, the believe. But actually imminent. Remember imminent? I think that was the first lesson one right there too. Imminent means like from or out of or away from. Imminent. That's on page 16. Go to page 16. There we go. Like yeah, imminent. Imminent like from the man. Yeah, from the man. Like from or from uh yeah, from a man, from the man. Yeah, from a man, from the man. Right, from the man. Then we have D bed. D bed is the same as before. So now you can see like how the different ones would need to be in
so
five.
right, Eunice, what make you prefer the A instead of the D? Yeah. If they say in Emina, Hagar could be from the city, you were saying maybe you might have a preposition or some kind of conjunction to make the word the, but it seems
Well,
like you
well,
might.
in good is like Amharic. This might sound strange to people, but there's not a direct object. The direct object is implied by the context. You know what I'm saying? By the context of it. So there's
Mhm.
not a direct object in Amharic, and there's not a direct object in Ge'ez. But the direct object can be implied by the context. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Hebrew. Hebrew has a direct object, and even Arabic has like a kind of like a the. So there's no the in Amharic, and now that I'm being reminded, there's no the in Ge'ez. So the context of what you're saying determines the the. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said a boat or a man. But as you just showed me right there, it reminded me that there's no direct object. Like in the thing that you highlighted there, where it says imminent heger,
Yeah.
right? Um, it can be from a city or from the city. Like we're talking good is we're talking about this city right here, and you
Mm.
say something and you say imminent heger I would know you're talking from the city, not just a city, because we're talking about this city. So that's how we would determine, in the sense, the. So it doesn't have a the. If you can find a the, show me a the. Like maybe say this is the in good is. So the good is does not have a definite article. The definite article is implied by the context. You know what I mean? We're talking about the king. So then you say something, then I know you're talking about the king, even though you're using just negush, right? There's no direct, definite, definite. Can you search that? Okay, okay. Maybe we'll do this later on because you have the PDF. I would try to like search the
Was that
text for definite article.
Nah, well, I ain't sure. I think this text the way it put in, I ain't sure if it's searchable like that and thing, you know what I mean?
Don't worry about it right now since we
We get
already
time
we
to it,
still in the
yeah, and
lesson.
we deal with it, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. That goodness doesn't, like, Amharic doesn't have a definite article, but the definite article can be implied by the context of what you're saying. Right. So that was a good. That was a good question there, because when you highlighted the imminent Heger, right, imminent Heger, right, it kind of Hold on for a moment. Now that you said that, right, my bad. You have to change one more letter. One more letter has to be changed. Let me see. What's it up there? You need a min. That's imminent. It's imminent. So you have to get the six M. I almost glossed over that. The six. You see where it says the M? Yeah, the M there. It has to be the sixth M, right? M. Yeah, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. The M. Not the N.
The M.
M. Yeah, the M like Mary. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that one right there. You go. They go. They go. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. That's it. That's it. So replace that to the. So it's iminne, iminne. We fully enunciate iminne beisi, iminne beisi. Right. Use kind of the translator when it was saying believe. If that was
mm-hmm.
Amharic, it would have been a little more correct. But iminne.
So that's why I think the thing was taking it for Amharic too. So that's where some of the mistranslation would have be coming in, you know?
Yeah. But it kind of shows us, like, even by that we can see, okay, this is similar. Like if I say amene, amene in Ge'ez would be like he believed. Like he believed. Amene. But imminne would be like say like from the sense of out of or from, right? Imminne from the Be'isi, right? Oh wow, the fifth one, just one, the Diba, the Be instead of Diba. You have it right there, the fifth one right there on the center chart, right? The fifth one right there.
Yeah.
Um,
What you
yeah,
saying? This one is supposed to be with a different form.
like the third one. Like you see the third, you see it right up on top, the third example, Dibe Hemer. Dibe Hemer. It's supposed to be the first one.
Yeah.
Bet. The first one. Yeah, that's one. So you could grab it from the third right there. Yeah, that one right there. All right. So now once you kind of do this, it'll be like a, not that one, not that one. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. That one, yeah, it's the first one. The first one.
That'd be yeah.
That is the bar, because in
Mm-hmm.
the text it's the long one. But the first one, D bet. Oh, you have it there. They go D bet. Yeah, I see it. You changed it already. That was quick. I didn't see that. D bet odd bar. D bet odd bar, like to the mountains. There we go. To the mountains. D bet. It's the fifth one. There we go. There we go. That one right there. Yeah, there we go. So you see how it has the long A over it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the bar right there. Yeah, D-Bear, odd bar. D-Bear, odd bar. Yeah, D-Bear, odd bar. Um, let's see if we, so now the D-Bear, Ahmar. Now bring it over to see how. Let's see how they got it. Let's see what they got right there. Um. Okay. There is Bediba. You got the first one, but grab the first letter and put it to the last and copy it. Yeah, yeah. There you go. Wow. Then now Ahmar is misspelled there, right? Go back to the. You know what? I'll give you the two letters. Go back to the iota, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now we have Ahmar, right? Ahmar. Let me see what you got there. Okay, just one letter. One letter needs to be corrected. That's the H. The H is
Ah,
the
the heavy H.
yeah, but
Wait.
it's a six. It's a six order. You see the six? Go over there. There we go. No, next one. Next one over. There we go. It's that one. That one that you need to get.
Mm-hmm.
That one right there. Because what you have there is ahamar. But it's really ahmar, ah. Yeah. Wow, that's small, man. That's tiny there, man. You can
No,
see
no,
that?
don't worry, don't worry. Don't try to see that. I can see it better. This
Yeah,
one, eh?
yeah. That one. There you go. There you go. Got it. Likano in them heart. Likano is correct. Likano. So we have to
Yeah,
use a little bit of amharic while we go through this. There you go. So that
it,
one right there, that H is that's ha. But we need ahmar. Diba ahmar. Like on to on and since on on it could be into or on the boats on the boats. I think what you said about the a and the we
mm,
can't say on a boat, we can't say that, right?
right, right.
That makes no sense. So yeah, on the boats right there. um in Worcester, in Worcester in Worcester. The only letter that needs to be changed, let me go to M, Worcester, M. Okay, two letters do have to be changed. In Worcester. Okay, is the W. W has to be the sixth one. The W, the sixth one, and the Te has to be the first one. So that has to be the sixth one. W. Where will we, why, way, W. In Worcester, Worcester, in Worcester, right? Worcester, Worcester, yeah, Worcester, right? And there we go. And you know what? Well. You could get the next one. Put the te, the first T, the te. Yeah, not that one, not that T. That's the hard one. The soft, the Tafari te. Now go hit E, hit the E on your keyboard. You hit the E. There you go. See, boom. There you go. To do the tab. So that would be for the W there, and the last one for the last T. Right. That one there. Worcester. 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 So we're gonna exaggerate a little bit so everybody can hear clearly. Worcester. Worcester. Worcester Abiyat. Worcester Abiyat. From in the from inside, from inside the houses. That's good. From inside the houses. Abiyat. Abiyat. Let me look at it. Abiyat. Yeah, that's correct. Abiyat. Abiyata Beta Christianat. Right? The churches, the seven churches. Abiyata Beta Christiana. Now that needs the che, the che, first order che. You already have it on the page. Chebe, right? The chebe. I think it's in the first column. Yeah. That would be where a little bit. Where is it at? Up. Yeah, you have to go up. Yeah, you got it over there. You have it. There you go. There we go. That's it right there. Yeah. Chebe Negesh. Like with the kings. Yeah, with the kings. With the kings. Chebe Negesh. Negesh. That's Negesh is correct. Or Negesht. Amharic Negest. Old Ge'ez Negesht. Yeah. Let's see, Imminent. You can copy the Imminent. You copy the Imminent. Okay. Um, like to the kings or with the kings. Well, actually, maybe with the kings or to the kings. Yeah, to the kings, with the kings. Yeah, we'll say with the kings, right? Um, imminent. Grab the imminent from over there. Yeah, the imminent from four. Grab that whole word, and then you can replace that imminent, 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 ahgor. Yeah, imminent ahgor from um, from the cities. Now, Ahgor needs you need to get that H again. You need to get that H from the top. You can. I think you had it in number seven, number 6 or 7. What was it? Let's see. No, no. Go to six. Go to six. Go up. One more. No, no. It's at the top. Yeah. Right. There you go. The H there. There you go. That H there. Ahma, Ahmar and Ahgor. Ahmar, Ahgor. Ahgor is the cities. From in the cities. Like from in the from in the cities. Or from the cities, from the cities. Yeah. From it kind of says from in the cities, imminent. Yeah, from in the cities, yeah. And then the 10th. Hmm. Okay. Actually, let's see the last one right there. Um, okay, this is an interesting one. So the che, becheber, it needs the other che. It needs the first order che. The first order, that's the fourth. Becheber, becheber. You have it at the top. You remember you copied it. Yeah, you placed it. There we go. Yeah. Becheber, sebit. Okay, now let's correct this. The bet is correct, but the first letter is sa. Is sa, not se. So we need the se. First order se. Um yeah. Um no, not that. You went to you I think hit twice, not that. Go again. Yeah. Now hit E. Hit the E. There you go. That's it. Se. 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 It says su si sa se si so the se and it's the first one. No, all the way the other way. There you go. That's it. That's that one.
Yeah, that's this one here.
That's the good is. That's the ed column. Seb, seb. Okay, right there. Yeah. And then the last is just one last correction of this word. You remember the apostrophe that we was talking about at
Mm-hmm.
the end? Remember
Yeah.
the forward and the backward one? I'm gonna let the I kind of get this one. Guess this one. Based on since the forward apostrophe is the soft A, the first A, and the backward apostrophe is the second one, right? The hard A. Based on
Mm-hmm.
this, which A is it? Let's see, which A is it? It's a soft A.
Yeah, the soft one, I would
You
say.
can actually get from this page. Take the imminent. You see the imminent? Take
Mm-hmm.
the first letter. It. That's the sixth order one. Sebit. Sebit. That's the sixth one right there. Sebit. Let me just make sure I'm correct with this. Yeah. It's the forward apostrophe. So there we go. Sebit. 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 The Cheber Sebit. Right? Um, like
With
with
people.
well, you remember what it said about the Sebit? The Sebit, it said, what was it, the note on that page?
They were saying
Um,
that either it could be plural men or people in general or something. So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
this is the plural form or this is the single form?
This right there, let's see, I'm looking at it right here. Um,
In back
seven,
on page
seven
391.
is the plural form. So it's with the men or people. The people is good there, like with the men or with the people in general. Yeah. So depends on the context because it can mean men, like more than one man, right? But people is a good, yeah. People, it could mean people too. You know, like the men of that town, the people of that town, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
I think we have that one right there. Yo, give thanks, man. The
Yes, sir.
I mastered that the iota, iota right there. Yeah. So now what we need to do is look at this, and then we can use the principles here to kind of like this will become like a template.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In a sense, you know, 'cause I think the B exercise is a little bit, it's a little bit more so, but I
Yeah.
think maybe kind of let this settle in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how you mean? Yeah, we go record that for now.
Yeah, I want to go forward on it, but I'm looking at the time, and I'm also saying that this was like just for a lesson as ones get familiar, even us as we sharpen up. You know, because the eye definitely. Wow, this is good. This is good. Did you color the page like that? Did you color
Yeah,
the page?
yeah, man. Yeah, to
Yo,
make it look like the
you
pro.
too enough, man. Yo, I no, no, it's good. 'Cause I'm like, why is it like a relic? Like a, you know what I'm saying? It's like a relic. I'm like, this is good. This is good. This matches, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Let's work on this one right here. This one is good right here.
This
Um,
this is not what we do just now. Yeah, this is what we do.
Yo,
Right?
man, this is yo. But I had to ask you what I was gonna ask you before. I was gonna ask you, right? Not ask you. Somebody say ask you. No, no, I'm not gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you. I had to
Mm.
ask you before because I was like, wait, how come that's the same as the book, man? I'm like, yo, that's mystic. Or where he get like, you know, I was trying to figure that out. And then just now I said, Chan, I know he did so that it matches. It looks good, man. Looks good right
Yes.
there. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's my only problem with Lambden's book. My
Mm.
only thing was that he didn't put it in the Fidel, but I understand why, man. It's like back then that would have been hard work. You know what I mean? Could imagine the printers. Remember old printing? They didn't have like the computer like we have now.
Definitely.
They would
So
have
you
had,
would have the typeset everything and it'll be a
man,
work.
you know what I mean? And then if they got something wrong, I know Lambden probably feeling away because he spent all that time, you know, mastering. Yeah, but we'll get to like 'cause that's the A exercise. He was able to complete the A exercise. The B
Yeah, man.
exercise, I think we need to kind of maybe go over the nouns,
Yeah.
probably in picking up, and then get into the B exercise. But what I'll do, like in the since you sent it to I will go through it as well. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
I'll send the I something, and you know we can kind of compare notes on that. But this is kind of good just to kind of look at some of the basics. So the A lesson has like simple you know, simple lessons. You know, it has kind of simple lessons right there. But mm, introduction to classical Ethiopic goods. You know, yes. You know,
Mm.
And Jed's introduction to to Ethiopic goods. Right?
No, I want a Thomas
Right, right.
Lambdin introduction. A Thomas Lambdin introduction, but
Yeah. Of course, of course. Yo,
mm-hmm.
Thomas Lambert have to get his big up, man, because yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But you tackle a big one here, man.
Mm.
Like I keep saying, I'll say it again for everyone to hear. Is that when a man comes to I with this, I'm like, I don't know. I thought I was maybe not dreaming, but like what? Like the man go there. You know what I mean? But this is one of the best books too. I must admit, if you can get into the basic discipline, he actually gives a lot. Plus, we read English. You know what I mean? We
Yes,
start.
sir.
You know, we read English, so it's a good stepping stone. But yeah, man, I give thanks, man. I'm
Yes.
grateful to be included in this project and this work here, man. You
Well,
know,
give thanks. You know, you are the backbone. You know, the dread pillar is the backbone, but the eye is the backbone of this project. You know?
I'm, I'm
So
the Jedi. I'm the Jedi of this Jed.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yo, if Jed say that, man, yo, it means something because he uncoma Jed. So if I'm like the Jedi, the Jed of this, yo, give thanks, man. Yes,
that's
I.
not right.
Ziabi Mesken, Hala Selassie Mesken, Kanamala Hala Selassie Mesken, you know? Yeah,
Yes,
man.
man.
Yes, I.
So give thanks for everybody for tuning in, and I hope you catch the next installment when we go hopefully go into exercise B and continue on with the fullness. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, I. Yes, I. Salute, I. Yeah. Salute, yes,
Bless up
I.
again, everybody. Bless up, my Lord. Respect for your time and the vibes. You know.
Yeah,
Straight.
man, yeah, man. Salute the lords and ladies. Yes, I.
Yes,
Rastafari.
man.
Mhm.
You don't know.
Amen. Amen. Amen.